mate-technical talaga dito yung prosecutor for bringing up this case to the Hague na malinaw naman na merong mga technicalities, no. So una nakikita natin dito sa warrant of arrest ni Tatay Digong, nakalagay dito ang torture, no. Sabi dito kasi the chamber notes that the prosecution alleged that some acts amounting to crimes against humanity of torture and rape. Nakalagay dyan, torture and rape. So first of all, nakikita natin dyan, ito po ay pursuant to state policy. Ibig sabihin, government state policy, programa o polisiya ng isang gobyerno po ito. Hindi po ito yung tipong illegally acted upon. So, ibig sabihin, kung ano man ang nangyari in the drug war of the then President Rodrigo Duterte, it was a policy of a government. It was legally binded, acted upon the government para puksain itong mga illegal drug trades na ito. So, ibig sabihin, tumatalima ito sa batas.
That's for drugs.
That's for drugs.
Yeah, and
Because you think drugs deserve to be treated with the maximum punishment.
if we could kill them 100 times, we would. Because you destroy whole families.
And going back to this torture and rape na ito, kung babalikan natin itong initial appearance ni Tatay Digong, dito binanggit at in-identify yung mga kasong ikinaso sa kanya. Pakinggan ninyo muna.
Pre-trial Chamber 1 concluded that there were reasonable grounds to believe that Mr. Duterte is criminally responsible as an alleged indirect co-perpetrator for the crime against humanity of murder. A. Murder of at least 19 persons. B. Murder of at least 24 persons, allegedly criminals, such as drug pushers or thieves or drug users.
So malinaw po na wala pong na-mention na torture at rape. Crimes against humanity at murder with murder ang nabanggit. Pero walang torture at walang rape. So dyan pa lang mate-technical. Kasi ang premise nga nila, yung prosecution's investigation. Ano ba yung prosecution's investigation? On Feb 10, 2025, anong sabi nila? Duterte was found out as alleged indirect co-perpetrator. At ano yung nakita nila? Murder, okay, torture, at rape. So, kung ito yung premise nila para maglabas sila ng warrant of arrest ng March 7, bakit walang na-mention na torture at rape dito sa initial appearance ni Tatay Digong? Kung dito natin ibabase, talagang mate-technical ang prosecution dito. Kung dito tayo babase, kasi kaya naglabas ng warrant of arrest ang tawag, ang chamber, ang pre-trial chamber, kasi doon sa premise ng prosecution na merong murder, merong torture, at merong rape. Another thing to point out, ang sabi dito is may reasonable ground to believe na widespread daw yung attack at systematic. Ang result daw for several years resulted in thousands of deaths. Thousands, naka-underline, thousands of deaths. Kaya nagkaroon ng warrant of arrest, nag-issue ng warrant of arrest ang chamber. Dito, ilan yung binanggit?
Murder of at least 19 persons, allegedly drug pushers of
19 persons. Tinuturing ba nating thousands of 19 persons? Ano pa?
Murder of at least 24 persons.
19 at saka 24 persons. So kung dyan tayo babase, saan yung sinasabi nilang thousands? Kasi ang premise is thousands of deaths And then, mag-i-issue ka ng warrant of arrest. Ang sinasabi mo is, ang sinasabi mong na murder dito ay 19 at saka 24. Hindi umabot ng 100. So, paano naging 1,000? Paano kayo nag-come up sa reasonable grounds na nagre-result ng thousands of deaths? Another thing to point out is, sabi nila, a very large number of persons allegedly involved in the criminal activities. Pero, pursuant to a policy. Ano po yung policy na yan? A policy that is aiming at putting an end to the criminality. So, ito po ay naaayon sa batas pursuant to a policy nga eh. Kaya nga, kahit nga dito sa warrant of arrest, baliktad eh. Anong sabi dito? Including killings of alleged criminals. Yung alleged, dapat ilagay nyo dito. Including the alleged killings of the criminals. Criminals na yung mga yun eh. May droga na yung mga yun eh. So, criminals, baliktad nga eh. Baliktad. Killings, yung killings na hindi pa napapatunayan, walang alleged. Pero dito sa criminal, may alleged. Kumbaga, prinotektahan na kaagad nila dito sa warrant of arrest na to, yung criminals. Pero yung killings, paano mo mapapatunayan na yan ay killings talaga, na killings na illegally killed, kumbaga? Diba? Pakikinggan muna yan sa korte kung talagang yung pamamaslang ba dyan sa mga durugista ng mga addict na yan ay it is because to the pursuant of a policy na kapag sila'y manlaban, siyempre patayin mo. Alangan namang ikaw, pulis ka, hahayaan mo patayin ka ng addict, ng mga drug lord, kumbaga. So it is because my policy at aiming to end the criminality, wag mong i-conclude kagad na killings yang kagad, na parang indiscriminate killing of these people. Diba? Diyan pala makikita mo eh. Technical na yan eh.
If we could kill them 100 times, we would. Because you destroy whole families.
Another one is, sabi nila, widespread and systematic. Alam naman nilang systematic in a way na policy ito. The attack took place over a period of several years and thousands of people appear to have been killed. Tapos, a sample of which is analyzed in the section below. The material before the chamber shows that the killing shared common features such as location and modus operandi, including the method of killing, the profiles of victims, and the profiles of perpetrators. So parang kumuha sila ng sample lang daw. So yung 19 at saka 24, it serves as a sample for them to find the probable cause to issue a warrant of arrest. Wow! So kukuha ka lang pala ng sample. Di ba dapat sa investigation ng prosecution, para hindi ka ma-technical, wag yung sample. Kunin mo talaga kung ano yung matibay na evidence. Therefore, you present that as a prosecution panel, you present that to the chamber, para yung chamber, magbabase sila dyan sa pinakita mong hard evidence na yan para mag-issue ng warrant of arrest. Pero kung sample lang pala yan, na hindi naman, halimbawa Aling Alicia pala yan, Aling Sheila pala yan, na ang ikinamatay ng kanyang anak last year lang pala under Marcos Jr. administration. So you take that as a sample para maglabas ng warrant of arrest ang chamber ng ICC? O dyan palang technical kayo eh. Isa pa, another one na mate-technical kayo dito is unalleged. Si Tatay Digong ay alleged indirect co-perpetrator. Indirect co-perpetrator. Una, indirect siya. Una, hindi siya yung direkta. Pangalawa, co-perpetrator. Asan yung main perpetrator? Kasi you already treating Duterte as the main one. As in, siya yung pinaka-main na dinala ninyo dyan sa The Hague. Asan yung main perpetrator? Akala ko ba siya ang nagsisystemize ng DDS para itumba itong mga durugista na ito? So, co-perpetrator, who is the main perpetrator? Who is the direct perpetrator? Kasi kung hindi ninyo na-identify kung sino yung main perpetrator at direct perpetrator, mate-technical kayo kasi tinatrato ninyo itong si Duterte na siya yung main perpetrator, pero dito sa warrant of arrest, siya ay at indirect co-perpetrator. So therefore, this one would be technical. Mati-technical talaga kayo dito. Isa pa, ito, ayon sa ICC, ayan, ICC is intended to complement rather than replace national courts. Complement po hindi replace. Ano ibig sabihin yan? It can only act when national courts have been found unable or unwilling to try a case. Unable. Pero dito sa hearing, anong sabi ni Remulla?
Pero sabi nga ninyo noon, hindi pwede. Dahil natatakot, nag-iilang, hindi kakayanin. Pero ngayon, bakit hindi magpila ng kaso sa Pilipinas?
Ano ho yan?
Nakita natin, sabi mo, may katibayan tayo sa 15. Ayan, kay Doktora Fortun. Andyan, meron nakikita,
marami ho kasing komplikasyon ang pag-iimbestiga ng ganitong kaso.
Di ba lalong komplikado kung kakalat ka rin pa hanggang dahig?
Exactly.
Na dito.
Isang katulad po niyan, yung ballistics. Pag may nangyari pong...
Okay. So, dito sa hearing na to, napag-usapan, and even doon sa hearing before nung umaten si Laila de Lima, nandun si Tatay Digong, ang pinaka main point dito is, ang ICC, they function as a complement, not to replace the national justice system of a state. So, kung hindi nagfa-function, then that's the time that you can go to the ICC. So, ang tanong kay Remulla at kay Laila de Lima, nung panahon ni Laila de Lima na siya ang DOJ, alright, panahon ni Laila de Lima, Aquino administration, sabi nila merong mga katiwalian sa implementation ng DDS nung mayor pa si Tatay Digong. So ang tanong dito is, ikaw ang Department of Justice. Under Aquino administration, you have all the means, you have all the resources to get evidence. Hindi mo pwedeng sabihin na hindi hawak ng mga otoridad yung ganito ganyan kasi ikaw yung DOJ. So there is no reason for you na hindi ka makakalap ng mga evidence. Pangalawa, panahon ni Aquino administration, DOJ ka. Bakit ni isang sampah ng kaso against Duterte wala? Okay, tanggalin na natin yung Duterte administration kasi sasabihin bias yung Duterte administration, hindi tayo makakasampa ng kaso o tanggalan na natin yung 6 years ni PRRD. Okay? Pero i-include natin yung 6 years ni Aquino administration wherein ikaw yung DOJ plus yung 3 years under Marcos administration. Nahawak na ng Marcos administration ng evidence na kayo magkakasama na kayo. Bakit ni isa walang nagsampa ng kaso magmula ng 6 years ni Aquino administration at yung 3 years ni Marcos Jr.? Therefore, ibig sabihin, wala kayong maibato, wala kayong matibay na evidence na maikakaso kay Tatay Digong under Aquino administration and Marcos administration. Then why did you bring the case to The Hague? Doon pa lang, technical na kayo. Kasi not one case filed against Rodrigo Duterte in the Philippine Justice Court before you brought this case to the ICC. Diyan pa lang technical kayo. Kasi i-bring up ng mga legal counsel ni Duterte dito sa hearing na ito sa ICC. I-bring up nila 'yan. Did you ever file any case in the Philippines? O kung wala, hindi kayo nag-file, so bakit kayo nag-file ng case sa ICC? When in fact, the Philippines justice system is still functioning. So, doon pa lang yung jurisdiction ng ICC, mate-technical kasi wala namang nag-file ng kaso sa Pilipinas . Why did you bring that up to the ICC? Diyan pa lang mate-technical kayo. And lastly, ito sa Article 59 na sa arrest proceeding, napakalinaw dito. Ayan custodial, a person arrested shall be brought. Brought? In what manner? Promptly. Ibig sabihin, mabilisan, immediate. Saan? Sa competent judicial authority. Saan po yun? Di sa korte natin. Pero sa mga nakita nating footages, saan nila dinala? Sa Villamor Air Base, which is hindi naman yun judicial authority or competent court. At ang sabi ng DOJ, sila daw yung competent court. O, diba? Katawa sila. So, dito, mate-technical sila dito. Ano bang sabi dito? Ayan, anong sabi dito? Doon pa lang pala sa pag-aresto sa kanya, pwede na palang mag-apply ng interim release. Kaya nga dadalhin sa competent court yan kasi pwedeng mag-apply si Tatay Digong sa custodial state. Ano yung custodial state? Kung saan siya inaresto. O saan yun? Di sa bansang Pilipinas. So dapat dadalhin sa korte ng Pilipinas at doon pwedeng i-establish kung isosurrender na ba siya kaagad sa ICC o hindi. And at the same time, pwede na siyang mag-apply ng interim release. Ganun po dapat yan. At sa pinakahuli, number 5, sabi, pag nag-grant yung kanyang interim release, ino-notify ng custodial state yung pre-trial chamber. Pero sa hulihan, sa huli, once ordered to be surrendered by the custodial state, if in any case found out by the custodial state competent court na talagang matibay ang probable cause na dalhin natin ito sa The Hague. So, yun yung only time the person shall be delivered to the court. Saan yun? ICC as soon as possible. Pero anong ginawa nila? Inilipad nila. So ito po ay pinatutunayan at pinalalakas na statement ni Attorney Nicholas Kaufman. Pakinggan natin.
Well, there are no important matters to understand. Everybody saw what happened to him when he returned to the Philippines, was put onto a plane and thrown over here.
So you will be filing for interim release?
I'm not going to divulge defense strategy.
Pero alam na natin yan. Diyan pa lang, technical na technical, mate-technical. Kumbaga sa larong basketball, technical foul sila. So maraming mga technicalities dito Maraming mga technicalities dito na pwedeng i-bring up ng legal counsel ni Tatay Digong. Hindi lang itong mga na-identify natin ngayon. But coming the proper dito siguro sa confirmation of charges ni Tatay Digong, pwede nilang i-bring up ito or pwede nilang i-bring up ito doon sa pag-apply ng interim release ni Tatay Digong. So pwedeng makalaya at what stage na pwedeng makalaya si Tatay Digong? Pwede sa interim release stage. At any time, ngayon na mag-a-apply sila ng interim release, pwede at i-bring up nila itong mga technicalities na ito. Or, if hindi man ma-approve yung interim release, then sa September, pwede nilang i-bring up itong mga technicalities na ito. So, therefore, at any rate, at any stage, interim release or confirmation of charges sa September, malaki ang posibilidad talaga na makakalaya si Tatay Digong dito.